Wizard! Hello, Wizard.
What's going on?
I'm selling everything. Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale?
I'm up to 40 cars.
40?
40.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
What are you doing?
No. Bad Hoopie.
Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and I'm very happy to report that my self-imposed marathon of content creation is finally over. Starting in mid-August, I started the second season of Car Issues for Motor Trend, basically like my YouTube channel, except much better production values, where I buy cars and it's all encapsulated in one little 22-minute episode with the Car Wizard. That has finished just recently, but in that time I also did a car trek with Ed and Freddie. That'll air sometime December, along with Car Issues. And also in between there, I did a Barrett Jackson live coverage on history and FYI down in Houston. That was about a month ago. And in between all of that, I was making YouTube videos. And that all ran me pretty ragged. And it also had me pile up with cars. I usually don't count how many cars I have because counting is the first step in admitting that you have a problem. But I counted, and well, I have 30 cars personally, and I bought another 10 cars for the Car Issue show, which means I have 40 cars. 40 cars is more cars than I ever have had in my entire life, more than I ever had when I had a car dealership, and more cars than most dealerships have in inventory right now, total. And that's absolutely insane. So I've decided to follow in the footsteps of Ed and Freddie and just list everything for sale. I'm going to throw everything at the wall, and whatever goes, goes. And I have another motivation because there is a few really cool cars that, well, I've committed to buy or I'm chasing right now, and well, I need the money. So everything's for sale. Yes, even this. So we'll start a tour of the 40 cars that I currently own, and I'll put a price for sale on every single one. Now, we won't see two in person because one I've sort of pre-sold to Bob, my friend Urination Bob, and that was a Car Issues car, a 30th anniversary Z28 Camaro, a very, very nice low mileage Camaro that he now owns because he had something that I wanted, which I'll unveil in the next episode. The other car we're not going to see today is my 1984 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, which is still at Maaco because I've had zero time to pick it up. It's been sitting out there for 6 weeks or longer, but I literally haven't had a spare moment to get out there to grab it. There was a 3-week period where I couldn't even get to the bank to deposit a check or get a haircut, or, well, I still brush my teeth, but barely had any time to basically think. But now I have time to think, and I'm completely overwhelmed, which is why now we will start the tour of the Hooptie fleet at its biggest level ever, and, well, a price on every single one. Are you ready, kids? This will be the longest infomercial ever, I suppose, and I need to keep every car under 30 seconds, otherwise it'll be like a half-hour video. I guess we'll start with the elephant in the room, the 1989 Lamborghini Countach 25th Anniversary Edition with less than 20,000 kilometers. I really, really like this car. Bought it in a package deal with a Lamborghini Diablo. Don't want to sell it, but if I were going to sell it, the price would be $450,000, which is actually not obscene based on some other listings, and this car represents basically my entire net worth, well, less than 5 years ago in one car. It's insane I was able to get the two cars together for the price that I did, but if I were to sell it, it would be for that number. Now, next to it is a very recent acquisition, a 2001 Bmw Z8. This is the most money I've ever spent individually on a car before, and it is a very cool throwback to the Bmw 507, a 6-speed manual transmission, trash inside, the M5 V8. And if I were to sell this thing, well, it would be over $200,000. Let's just say $220,000, because I don't want to sell it, and that's probably what it would cost me to replace this thing. Moving on, 1966 Ford Mustang GT350, a car that's been sitting up here for a very, very long time that I don't use very much, that I should probably sell, but I'm super attached to it. This one has a modern 5.0 under the hood with a supercharger, so Kenny Bell supercharger, plenty of power in a classic package. That $48,000, I suppose. This is turning out to be a little more painful than I thought. But next to it, 1966 Chevrolet Corvette in Nassau Blue 427, so the first year of the 427 big block. Mostly original car other than the Tremec 5-speed, which really makes this car so much more fun to drive than the old Muncie 4-speed. I replaced the motor on it, did a bunch of work. It's running great. I don't drive it very much. That price would be $85,000 is reluctant price. Moving on, 1959 Austin Healey Sprite, a little bug eye or frog eye, depending on where you live and what you call these things. Angry 0.9 liter engine, a very nice restoration on this car, and surprisingly very comfortable to drive. I actually fit below the windshield on this teeny tiny car, and it is super spirited, super fun. These are the cars that inspired the Miata later in a much more reliable Japanese platform. This one's British, it's sorted out. The price is $28,000. Please don't buy it. I want to keep it. Below that, a 1994 Ferrari 456 with only 13,000 original kilometers. You have a V12 under the hood and a 6-speed manual transmission. I love this because it's like a Ferrari 550, except you have a back seat, and it is a very comfortable cruiser, an ex-Cartrack car. Great color. I'm going to say $85,000 on that car, and please don't buy it. Moving on here, we have a 2013 Tesla Model S Performance. This is another Cartrack car. It has been slightly modified. This is the first performance variant of the Tesla. We wanted to make it more like the Plaid, so we cut the steering wheel into a yoke. Very, very cool. Very easy to fix if you wanted to fix it. I also spent $5,000 rebuilding the battery on this car. Ouch, 99,000 miles. It could be yours for $29,000, which I think is the cheapest Tesla Model S Performance in the USA, even still with a reconditioned battery from Uncle Rich. Next to it, a 2005 Cadillac Escalade ESV in Riptide Blue. This is my daily driver basically right now, what I use to take the kids to school, and it's probably going to be replaced by something. So it would be a redundant vehicle, but this is as good as the GMC 800 got. The best color, the best trim being a platinum package, and it is an amazing driving car. $15,000, which please don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Next to it is my 2021 Beck Spider. This thing is powered by a Subaru 4-cylinder. This is a throwback to the vintage, well, 550 Spider that James Dean killed himself in. And there's like a 2-year wait to have these things made. At least back when I ordered it, which probably means it's even longer now. So replacing it would be difficult. And I guess $60,000, which is pretty close to what I have in it. Don't buy it. Next to it, my 2006 Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. This thing only has 19,000 miles on it. We bought it with a bad transmission. It is a very nice, sorted car at this point. It is so nice to finally have a sorted modern Lambo, so I really don't want to sell, but if I were, the price would be $180,000. Please don't buy it. Next, we'll go outside into the wind. We'll also have to go to like 4 other facilities to get to all of the cars. A hangar, a barn, and a couple of mechanic shops, but here's the ones outside. 2000 Hummer H1 Wagon, fresh off, running over some Priuses. This thing is really, really cool, but certainly a redundant vehicle that I don't have much use for, so I am kind of motivated to sell this Hummer. The price would be $55,000, has 180,000 miles, mostly sorted out, a few little things to do, but overall, you could drive this thing anywhere. Next to it, another car I should probably get rid of. This one needs someone to take it to the finish line. My 2005, I think, or 4, Mercedes Maybach 57 that I had repainted after it was hit. Bought it from Copart, salvage, so it is a salvage title vehicle with over 100,000 miles. New air suspension, but the lingering issues are a cracked windshield, which I have not priced out. The radio does not work due to some fiber optic lines that have been cut, and it does have a battery drain. The front little accessory battery drains pretty quick. The back battery will last for weeks if you let it sit. So you either fix that or leave it on a tinder when you're not driving it. Price on this one, $25,000, which is way less than I have into it. Next to it is a 2003 BMW 4.6 ISX5. This one hasn't been fixed by the Car Ninja yet, but it will. I'm willing to sell these after I do my BMW Dream Team assembly, so we'll have to wait a little bit, but I'll price it out right now. That number will be $8,000. Next to it is a car that I hate to have sit outside just because I'm so overflowing. It's a 2001 BMW 740i Sport, the Shorty Sporty, only 80,000 miles. This is the start of the BMW Dream Team. Iconic car, low mileage, $20,000, let's say $19,000, because either I'm going to keep this or I'm going to keep the M5, but it has double the miles and not in the same condition, but the M5 obviously a lot more desirable, more engaging with that engine and the 6-speed manual transmission. So now, well, let's move on to the other BMWs over at Johnny's. We'll check on the progress there, the work being done, and price out some more cars that I don't want to sell, but I'm selling. So I'm currently editing this video. It's almost midnight. I realized I completely missed two cars that were right in front of me and one car that was outside. So I'm really, really bad at doing this, but also pretty fried. My vacation's coming about a week. I clearly need it. But the Ferrari 348 is a car with 100,000 miles. It is my favorite car. It has the interior with house carpets and bus seats on these aftermarket Recaro seats. Wood in the interior when it's not supposed to have wood. This thing is a Frankenstein, but it sounds beautiful. It runs great despite having 100,000 miles, all the service records. I don't want to sell it. But if I were to sell it, it would be for $50,000, and then I would just go buy a really nice one. But then that would stink because I enjoy driving this car so much because I don't have to worry about it getting scratches or dings or anything. Next to it, a 2001 Bentley Azure, formerly owned by Jean-Claude Van Damme. This car was a little bit of a bear to sort out, but it is very sorted at this point. 68,000 miles and loads of service records, including 2 top repairs totaling like $15,000, thanks previous owners. If I were to sell this car, it would be for $50,000. And then outside is another $50,000 car, my 2016 Chevrolet conversion van, 9-passenger. I use that a lot to tow Hooptie's home when I buy things, go to the track, that kind of stuff. $50,000 for that, 2016 with 50,000 miles. I would just immediately go buy another one if you all bought it. So don't buy it, that's just a pain. Now I'm gonna go back to bed and we'll jump back into the middle of the day when I'm heading, where am I going? And the Ninjas, I think. Ninja!
Someday I'm going to catch you doing something inappropriate, but not today.
No, I'm just fixing a key.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is my 2000 BMW M5 right here.
Yes, it's about to get a clutch today.
Okay, 166,000 miles, part of the BMW Dream Team. Once again, you can't buy these until I finish doing the whole assembly process and hopefully a track day with them before it gets too cold. But very nice. You know, driver quality M3 with some miles. Oh, that's right. That's right. There's an M3 somewhere too. I'm getting very confused. Yeah. But this car, $19,000.
Not bad at all.
That's what I'll sell it for. Either that or the Shorty Sporty. I'm gonna keep one or the other. There's one other car here, the Z3 sitting up high. What's going on there?
Just we have to do the seats. Obviously, the one you brought in, they came with no track.
Oh yeah.
And we just have to transfer the track. And actually, this one is the bad one.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great to get those out of there. But
yep.
This one is a clean title, but a theft recovery. Low mileage, only 92,000 miles, but a very hard 92,000 miles. Yeah. So price-wise, what should I price that?
This one like
$6 grand. That sounds good to me. It's all done other than the seats?
just one seat left. That's
okay.
it.
All right. Awesome. Well, now I'm gonna head over to the barn where there's the M3 here, not the M5. I'm getting confused. Some other cars, then the Hangar, then the Wizards. All the cars are for sale. Every single one.
Every single one.
Every single one? Yeah.
Even Z8?
Even the Z8. $220,000. It can be yours.
No, I'll pass on that.
I'm very excited for you to see some of these cars because they are kind of a sneak preview of the cars you show on Motor Trend. Starting with this, a 2005 Cadillac Escalade Ext. This is the truck version. This all folds down and you have an extra long bed that goes into the cabin if you want. Otherwise, you have really nice standard seating. This is a 190,000 mile all-wheel drive lifelong Texas truck that's hauled a few animals and things recently. But still a very nice truck, price-wise, $8,000. Next to it, really cool Jeep, 1995 Grand Cherokee Limited with 120,000 miles. This is all original paint, the gold snowflake wheels. We put a little lift on it, but as you can see inside, very, very, very nice. It does have the 5.2 liter V8, which is leaking from the rear main seal and the oil pan, so I'm going to be selling it as is. That price is $12,000. Next to it is the world's worst E36 Bmw M3, another car issues car. You do not want this thing. It is Swiss cheese underneath. The price on it is $5,000. It barely runs, but it's an M3 with a manual transmission and a coupe. Absolute basket case that you do not want to buy. Next to it is a very nice M3 on the other hand, a 2001 with 77,000 miles on it, I believe, 6-speed, just super, super nice. Bought it with a transmission wind. We have the transmission for it. It's going to be put in. Like I said, we'll complete the BMW Dream Team assignment and then sell off a lot of these. If I'm selling this one, well, the price is going to be $28,000. Next to it is the Pimp My Ride van that Freddie gave me almost 2 years ago. I don't have a title for it, so it'll be sold on a bill of sale, but this is a real Pimp My Ride car. #1 trending on YouTube, Tavares restoring it. It's mostly sat in here. I guess price would be $10,000 if you want it. Next to it, another car issues car, 1979 Pontiac Trans Am with a 6.6. This, other than a repaint, is a very nice low mileage survivor. And the cool bird on the hood, this is the square light one. I think it's around 56,000 kilometers or 156,000 kilometers. I'm probably 156. So pretty low mileage and nice, well-preserved Trans Am. The price on this, $18,000. It does need some work. It's leaking from the transmission pan. The brakes, when you hit it, they pull to the right a certain way, but minor things. Overall, a very solid car. Next to it is, well, my 1994 GMC Suburban with 120-something thousand miles on it. Really, really cool truck, four-wheel drive. I love the GMT 400, but I definitely don't need this one. Love the red interior, which is probably too dark to see, but this is a very, very nice original preserved example. And I would let this one go for, well, let's say $11,000. I did spend a lot on it. New shocks, new Michelin tires, new fuel pump, new AC compressor. It's very sorted and as ready as a almost 30-year-old truck can be to go cross country. So I had to rent this building to stash more cars. I previously had it, but then gave it up, but then had to rent it back because I'm out of space. And also the hangar, which is another storage building, completely full of cars. So let's head there next. This is the hangar, which has a very nice condo built into it. All the cars are out here, and it's sort of a fine line between collecting and hoarding. And I felt like in the past I've always walked the tightrope really, really well, but at this point, I mean, it's a full-out hoard, and I'm a total slave to my things. See this lineup, a lot of them, well, they're mine, starting with the 1988 Plymouth Grand Fury police car. This is a Season 1 car issues car that I really don't want to sell. Say $25,000. The car behind it, 78 Trans Am, not mine, I can't sell it. This one here, this is the only car that I wouldn't sell probably for, well, let's say $1 million. I'll put $1 million on this car because it's my first car. My grandmother got it new. She gave it to me when I was 16. A 1985 Euro 500 SL. Behind it is definitely a car that I would sell, though. A 1988 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham with only 50,000 miles. It has a decent Maaco paint job on it, probably a 10-footer or a little bit better, on a 50,000 original mile car with a very, very nice interior, purple exterior. Got the battery charging up to get it ready for sale, but this is one of those things where I've ran out of time. I have new tires. I've had new tires for over a month to put on this car to basically have it finished, and I haven't had time to even drop it off at the tire shop to get that done, so somebody else needs to buy it. Price-wise, $9,000. Next to it is a car I haven't driven in months and months, a 1973 Mercedes 280 SE 4.5. This is an all-original Survivor with a little over 100,000 miles. Original paint here, original interior that has been restuffed so the seats are nice and soft and cushy, not all ruined like most of them are. But the wizard went through this car and got everything working, and I really like it, but I don't drive it, so I probably should sell it to somebody that would actually use it and enjoy it. Price on this one, let's say $12,500. These two cars aren't mine, but over here is Apollo 911, my LS swap Porsche 911 with 250,000 miles. I'm so happy to have it back. I don't want to sell it, but if you're dumb enough to give me $60,000 for it, I will sell it. I'm over $50,000 into the car, so I could go and build another one. Not that I would, but yeah, you have to be really dumb to buy that at $60,000, but I suppose that's the price. The car behind it, a 2011 Mercedes Sls Amg. It's over in the hangar because of the new hotness, the Z8. I've been driving around quite a bit, but this is definitely a good alternative with the dual clutch transmission rather than the 6-speed manual. Way more power. Of course, the gull-wing doors with the Designo natural interior. It's just such a pretty car, and they are going up in value. I definitely bought mine at the right time. Price on this one is a little bit of I don't want to sell because I just go buy another one, and I couldn't find one like this with the pearl white and the natural Designo interior. So let's say $195,000 for this car. And you think we would be done, but we're not done because there's even more cars, more than probably that are here up at the Car Wizards getting worked on. So it's the song that never ends. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is not an aspirational channel. You do not want to be like me because this is this is stupid. Oh, the Jurassic Park Jeep, I completely forgot. That one for sale. I don't want to sell it. Let's say $35,000 because of the cool patina and everything else. You couldn't replicate that, so I don't want to sell it, but that is mine. So let's move on to the car wizards. All right, we've arrived at the wizards. Pardon the wind, but here are some really special cars here. Ext Car Trek coming out in December. 2000 W6 Trans Am with the hog nose. This thing has everything that an LS could be done to it without forced induction. The horsepower you see here, not too far off of that. This thing is ridiculously fast, 100,000 miles. I would sell it for $12,000, which these things are going way up in value. I feel like that's a pretty good deal to move it along. Next to it, an even rarer car, a 1995 Ford Mustang Cobra R. Only 250 of these in existence. This is not a normal Cobra. This is the R, the racing version, and you had to be somebody special that, well, raced cars in order to buy one of these new, and that's exactly what this car was. It was heavily modified, like a $60,000 build with a supercharger, almost 600 horsepower, and it is totally track ready. You see the racing seats and the roll cage? This thing is really, really special. The only bad part is it was crashed while it was racing. It used to have a whole Celine body kit on it, which it doesn't anymore, but it's been fixed. So price-wise, let's say $20,000, which is a fraction of what somebody invested in this thing to make it really, really fast and dominate on the track. Next to it, a 1997 Lincoln Town Car Limousine. This is another car issues car. Really nice, only 39,000 miles. Needing a fuel pump so it doesn't run, but I can get it running with the fuel pump for you guys. Price on this, let's say $8,000. And then on the end, the last of the cars outside, a 1988 Suzuki Jimny with a 3-cylinder engine, like 543 cc's, but a turbo. And this is a JDM Import right-hand drive. Very neat little rig. See the yaw pitch and roll gauges. But this one is so adorable. Let's say $8,000. Which is a running driving car. Now let's go inside and check on the car wizard and see, well, the other projects, which I guess they're all for sale. Wizard! Hello, Wizard.
What's going on?
I'm selling everything. Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale?
I'm up to 40 cars.
40?
40.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
What are you doing?
No.
Ah!
Bad Hooptie. Bad.
Well, part of it was for car issues. We had to buy them for the show, so that's 10 of them.
Okay.
And then the BMW Dream Team, that stupid thing that I'm doing that you have nothing to do with because it's BMWs.
Right.
But somehow I'm up to 40. And but they're all for sale now. I'm going to sell a good chunk of them, so I guess we'll go through. Even though they're works in progress, once they're fixed, I'll give you a price. So let's go. Yeah, the Lamborghini Diablo still waiting on those struts, right?
Yep, they'll be here Monday, actually.
Okay, and a very nice car I bought in a package deal with the Countach. Price on this, $350,000.
$350?
Yeah.
I was thinking $390.
Oh, we'll go with that, $390,000 because you said it. Okay, $390,000. Moving on, we have another car issues car, a 2000 Aston Martin Db7. This one's getting a lot of work from the car wizard. Beautiful automatic convertible, 54,000 miles. This car, $30,000. Another car issues cars. We're getting close to the end, Wizard.
Oh wow!
I've pretty much touched every single car today. As we're wandering, I've forgotten a car that's outside, a 2001 Dakota RT we bought for car issues. That one, $5,000. And then this, slightly missing an engine, but with the engine back in, it's a 1979 Porsche 911 SC Targa that was converted into a convertible. Definitely cool rat rod patina. And I suppose once it's all back together, I'll sell it for $30,000. $30,000. So I think that's all of them. It's way too many. It's super stupid to have that many cars.
40, yeah, that's like Jay Leno.
So if you want to buy them, as I've been flashing on the screen through this entire video, that's probably too long, only email me at buyhoviescar@yahoo.com. Any other DM, any other email you try and get at me, I'm not going to respond. That's the only place that I want these inquiries on the cars for sale to go. That's it. buyhoviescar@yahoo.com. Hopefully that's the right email. Otherwise, somebody's going to get inundated that's also named Hoovie.
Yes.
But I'm an idiot.
You're an idiot?
This is so dumb. Why did you let me do this?
I didn't let you do it. The cars just show up. You just go buy them.
Yeah, well, there's another one for you to look at.
Oh, another one?
Yes.
That's 41.
Thank you for watching.